every Saturday at the zoo. Live wire Derrida, one episode at a time. Season 1 is Ghost. What is the method to turn Pharmacon into pharmacy? Well, that's dialectics, of course. That's dialectics, okay? So we've almost got like a cute little table being constructed here. Like, it's always comforting to have a table. Versus, I don't know what, international, I'm trying to think of figures to think of what would be on that, like international drug trade, jet setting, international French playboys, Derrida. So there's, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to put him as French. He's American. Let me cross that out. No, okay. Oh no. What do I do? Just take a deep breath. Okay. Let me do that. No, now we French play. Okay. We're gonna make it. I'm focused. I'm ready. I'm focused. French American playboys. Don't look at it. 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 Okay. Wow. Okay, no, it's still, I can't get it all. It's still, this is France, like these moments that this is, it's, okay, we're okay. The unity of metaphysics, of technology, of opiate barbarism. This philosophy, and so this pharmacy is a way to also because this pharmacy also needs to be inherited in a followable good way, right? Like a pharmacy, if you're not gonna, if the father dies, you need somebody to inherit, a good person to inherit it. For Plato, that's Plato in his text. Plato as absent son in a discourse. I want to say writing because I just fuck the word discourse, man. It just doesn't work. Okay, as absent son in a writing on father, or on the father and out of the death of the father, he needs to inherit the pharmacy. So in a certain way, that it's Plato names, right? Plato names the need for oikos, so like step 1 in our thing, to maintain, control, domesticate the pharmacy that is constantly displacing, exceeding, deconstructing it. So, the pharmacy is gonna, the pharmacy could, turn your dad into looking like a loser pussy for capitalism, right? This is big. This is like a big part of Kafka. Kafka wrote about how he thought it was better to grow up in like a quote unquote poor sort of household because the family structure is displaced by the economy. Like you see your dad, like he's a loser compared to like his boss, or he's a loser compared to anybody who can keep things in control, because it's clearly not him who's in control. It's clearly capital, that's in control. And so there's a sense in which the moment and when, you take drugs or something and you see your dad, like he's an alcoholic or something, it's like, he's clearly not in control of himself. It's clearly not, the father is not there. Or, you take some Adderall and you're like, wow, I'm really way smarter than these idiots, and you think, wow, why am I need to stay in this pharmacy. The oikos is, in Platonism, trying to take back control. It's the father trying to transform and reread himself in the form of the son in order to inherit the pharmacy, right? Because it's Plato. This is the title of the essay. It's Plato's pharmacy, right? So that's the name. That in a nutshell is the desperation. Like it can't be anyone's pharmacy or a pharmacy without the supervision and management of a father. It has to be Plato's pharmacy, possessive, right? So the idea of possessive plus pharmacy is these two moments, right? So like possessive oikos of pharmacy or possessive pharmacy bordering pharmacon. So I think it's a really beautiful reading of Platonism in its Plato's relation to Socrates and Platonism's relation to Parmenides. Okay, and we're gonna get a thought about and this is Derrida. This is just me trying to gloss and map kind of what we just read. Do y'all see that? Is it kind of seeing it map onto it? Is it really okay? So now we're gonna ask, okay, Plato's pharmacy seems like unstoppable. You know, he does, it is his pharmacy. Nobody ever gets out of Platonism. Nobody ever gets out of mythology. We think we know about these non-Greek cultures and their mythology, but mythology's Greek. And once we start talking about these so-called non-Western cultures, we realize they start becoming Western cultures. And in fact, in the history of the world, every culture became a Western culture. There's no alternative non-Western culture. What exactly do you mean by that? Certainly don't mean China, right? Which is, in fact, a one-party Marxist totalitarian communist state that hates ghosts just as much as any Western metaphysics person does, and hates anything like ancient Chinese culture. Ancient Chinese secret, huh? No, it's not. They hate that stuff. They hate Chinese. It's the whole point of the Cultural Revolution. And many, many other examples of so-called attempts to find non-Western situations or non-Western thinking. That's over, man. Not going to happen. Okay. But Derrida wants to displace or have something other than Plato's pharmacy. So he's asking here, like, how do we get out of that? Okay. Because this pharmaceutical system is the scene in the Phaedrus, which is interesting that he does the scene. So I think when he's saying scene, it's in the French sense more, or like it's a kind of a wider sense of like the Phaedral scene or the Republic scene or like this formation, this structure is like a Voltron Power Rangers super giga mecha construction of we can integrate any writing into speech and any non-presence into presence and anything like that. Any writing in a speech and the scene in the Republic, which is, I think, that anything beyond being. Okay. So this epikenatos, so it's like, this is like classic thing, right? So like, okay. So then we're going to ask, okay, they're just going to ask, how do we get out of Plato's pharmacy or at least rob it? Which would be getting out of it in a sense it wouldn't be his anymore. At least steal from it. I think I've talked about it previously, but I just repeat the anecdote. One of my best memories ever, one of my very favorite memories in all my life, was this one time with my friend Alex Ylandra. I remember you, dude. He and I broke into a abandoned insane asylum that our college owned. It was an old style, and if you look this up, this is like, it's fascist architecture. It's the most, if I were getting wheeled into that building, I would be like, dude, it's all over. But we broke into it, and all the stuff's still there because it got condemned. And we broke into it, and we found all these drugs. We found all these recordings of patients doctors talking about patients. And, and we found we all the doors were locked at first, and then we found like a bank of keys. We found like a literal bank of like 200 keys that were all labeled, and we would like we would like go to a door and we have to find a door. We'd go to open it. It was like, it just was like, what a memory. But that's what we want to try to be able to do. We want to be able to try to at least rob Plato's pharmacy, even if we can't destroy it, right? We want to have something that can exceed it. We want something about the force of the pharmacons to not be limited. But look at all it contains. It contains, so all the discourse on being and all the discourse on metaphysics, it's not worried about stuff beyond being, really. It's going to take all that stuff. So Epicena taste, yeah. Epicena taste, Lysias, right? Beyond being or presence, right? So it contains not only the stuff beyond being and presence, it's very happy to easily talk about those in the Republic. All the stuff in the Phaedrus, and all the stuff in the Sophist, which the Sophist, like we just talked about, is killing the father of Greek metaphysics, right? So it keeps all that stuff together. All that stuff is in Plato's pharmacy. Plato owns all of this. And so Plato owns us too. And he owns everything that's not Plato, everything that's not Platonism, everything that's not Greek. So we are drugs in Plato's pharmacy that are trying to find some way to get out. Derrida's saying, look here, how could we ever get out of here? Look at all this stuff. Look at everything Plato's been able to stamp his name on. So I just try to list these things. So, speech, verse, writing, thought. So paternity, agriculture, economy, epikeina tes usia. So all thought of that would be beyond being. It's like Gnosticism, right? For example, would be not a temporary example, but Gnosticism, if you don't know what it is, I've been reading it, is a set of beliefs of thinkers and primarily Christian thinkers that were not canonized or that are considered apocryphal, or it's basically these sort of punk rock B-sides of Christianity. But all of that, and it all tries to be separate from Christianity and try to not be it in terms like, and it is very, and so I'm not dismissing, there's very interesting stuff in it, but it desires logos gathering being just as much, if not more than any Christian does in a certain way. It's just displaced. So it's like, it's a sort of like, it's still stuck in Plato's pharmacy. It's still stuck in the canon that it tries to avoid. That was kind of a maybe not necessary example, but I just thought, and then, and Plato's pharmacy also includes killing your dad and taking his pharmacy. So, you don't get out of your dad. You don't escape your dad by killing him and taking his pharmacy. You just become him. And so he still owns you, right? Because he decides the form of how you live and how you work, right? So, it's, and then, so it includes all this, and it includes non-Greek. So this is why philosophy just took over the world. Platonism took over the world. It's over, man. So what do we do? How do we respond to it? It's a deconstructive question. Presence is a ghost, and he is thy father's spirit. Like, comment, haunt, and subscribe.